Shut up and sit down.
Again gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop, and welcome to part 2 of the Revell Titanic build. And as you can see, I am drilling some holes. Basically I'm just using my pin vise just to put in some holes around the funnels and the decks, etc. for the rigging. So I'm going to do this before I glue the funnels together, and then there'll be a deft bit of threadage going on so that I can get the rigging in place. So I've got all the funnel halves to do, so we'll get on and get them all done. So it's just a matter of pin vicing them like so, working your way across the funnel. So I'll stick another hole in there like so, and then we'll look at joining the halves together, and then I'll be whopping some easy line down the hole in the top of the funnel then out the sides, and then it'll tie onto the deck. So that'll be fun. Might have to get the sweater box out for when I do that. I was going to put the strands through, but I've got to paint yet. So yeah, we'll glue these together, get them all in place, drop that on top of the deck, and why not, like so. And it's funny, just putting the funnels on just starts, you know, bringing it together, doesn't it? And I shall mist over this with primer, etc. And then I'll go in with the paint brushes and detail paint any areas that need it. So yeah, it's not the biggest of models, so I'm not going to hyper detail it, but yeah, just enough to make it look real. So I'll drop that over there out of the way so I don't knock it over. And I think we'll drill the others. Why not? Try not to drill my fingers. So there's lines on these funnels, like seam lines, and the drill holes just sit in the corners of them lines there, according to the old instructions. So it just gives you a quick reference point on what you need. So yeah. So I'll pop that in there. It's actually quite therapeutic doing this, I must admit. You know, it's early hours of the morning, sitting here with me pin vise, drilling away, not arguing with myself for a change. So yeah, quite therapeutic. Got me mug of tea next to me and all. Dare I say it, chocolate hobnobs may be within the vicinity. So yeah, join that together, I'll whop a bit of the old extra fin in there, like that. Scoots along the inseams perfectly. Have you some of that? And you end up with a nice deft bit of funnelage going on. Like that. Put a little dot just in there to grab that bit. A little smidge across the join there so that we can get it to start bonding. And then we'll give it a bit of a pinch just to see, and then we'll scoot a little bit around now that it's on, just to try to get out, rest it on the bench there to try and keep the shakes under control there. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, that got it. Just squeeze that into position. Cut off the next few bits off the old sprue. last one. By powers of deduction, this should be the last one. It is on here. There it is. Do the same with him. Give them a bit of drillage. One on there. One just round there. If you haven't got one of these pin devices, I really do suggest to grab one because they're a godsend. One in there. Just there. Spin it around. And have you just in there. Just like that. Same process. Join your two halves together. Yeah, try and get the right way up, Cole. Oh, yeah. Captain Switches arrived. And again. Yeah. And again. Oh, yeah, we're going for it now. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to Edward Spanahands. Yeah. Twitchy, twitchy. We'll probably pause in a minute. Let's grab that on there. Like so. Like so. And like so. A little bit across the face. You know, we'll just press it into place like that. Grab a bit around the back there. The job's a good one. So we're back again after a bit of a pause because we were getting the shakes, so apologies for that, folks. We can just carry on now with some bits and bobs around the deck. Start getting the bits and bobs in place. So we've got cranes and things like that are going on. And I'm putting all of that lot on at this stage because I'm going to scoop and prime the whole shebang. Because I thought, well, I've got to paint all these little bits and try and glue them in place. And if the glue is going to run anywhere, it's going to ruin the paint, isn't it? And I just thought, well, I might as well just on this scale assemble everything, and then I can just prime the whole lot in one hit, and then we can come back at it and do any fine detail stuff with the brush, just to pick out all the little odds and sods and bits and bobs, and yeah, so that's the plan anyway. So we can have a bit of that going on. Try and get the rest of these bits and bobs. Now they're all really small bits, little masts or whatever you want to call them, fire hydrants, yeah, little mini capstans, or yeah, I don't know the names of the bits to be honest, but yeah, all the stuff that detritus that's normally scattered around the deck of an ocean liner of that era, things that they tie the ropes round and stuff. I think the only thing I'm not going to put on at this stage is the lifeboats, purely and simply because they're right in the way of where I want to put the tie lines for the funnels. And being that they're going to be a bit of a bind anyway, I thought I'll drop the lifeboats in lastminute.com with it, you know, so yeah. But all of these little bits can go on and just drop in place. And again, you know, it's these little details that you're adding that start letting your model take shape. So there are times you look at it and you think, oh, really, I wish it would, get a move on, so to speak, and then all of a sudden it pings together quite nicely. So, yeah. So that's that part done round by the bell. Have a looky-loo to see what bits and bobs are next. Some more of those, and they are tiny, I must admit. So the magnifier's over where I'm filming at the moment, so I have to see what I'm doing a bit, but yeah. Get the old tweezers out on some of these, because they go in a certain way, and yeah, it takes a bit of seeing which way round they are, so I'll just hold it there on the magnifier to make sure that it's the right way round. Probably drop it now, so if I do disappear off shot, just it's so that I can quickly have a scoot just to see it's gone in the right spot. Grab another one of those off of there, like that. Just put a couple of cuts in some of them just so that it's a case of popping them off then. So I think there's 3 of these to go in on that little area, so we'll have them. I'll get them all into place like that. Got one trying to escape there on my left hand, so I'll keep an eye on him in case the carpet monster fancies a bit of an early dinner, you know. So let's get him in place before he rolls off somewhere where he's never going to be seen again. Like that. Just line them up. There you go. A little dark glow. And then quickly grab them too. You might find that when you've done these, some of them might go a bit wonky or whatever. Or just give them a little touch with a bit of extra thin just to reactivate the glue, and then just move them back in place. They will comply. Would help if I got that one right round the right way, wouldn't it? Yeah, that's it. That's better. That's that one. And it is a fiddly little stage, this, folks. But it should be worth it in the end. So let's move that out of the way. And that one. Let's see what we've got next on the old instructions. Why not? Yep. Let's cut that bit off. There you go. A little bit of a forward crane arm that goes right on the bow there. Just in there. Like that. And I know I'm going to end up knocking this over about 20 times, so whether or not it stays in place is another thing. We'll try not to knock it over. Like so. What was next? I think it was the little pin at the front. Now I'm tempted. I'll put the plastic one in. But we've got all the easy line and all of that lot to tie around these little things. And dare I say it, I think this might be a little flimsy, so I'll see how it goes. But I might end up replacing it with a piece of copper wire, something with a bit more substance to it, because it's going to be under tension, isn't it? So, not masses of tension with the easy line, but it's going to have a bit of pull on it, and I just don't know. I just think that's a little bit skinny. I've got a feeling it will snap off, so yeah, I might end up replacing that. Anyway, let's put the bits and bobs on around the upper deck. Get that in place. And the reason I haven't glued this is there's a couple of bits of easy line that I've got to go up through the front part of this that go onto the front mast. So I'm going to glue that on with the easy line in place, let it dry, and then I'll stretch the easy line to the mast and Bob's your uncle. So we can have some of that. Put that on there. Couple of tiny little upside down lifeboats that are going next to the funnels, because they're not going to be in the way of the easy line that comes over the deck, so them ones can go on. But the big ones on the gantries and all of that go along the sides where the rails are, I've got to leave off until I've done with the funnels, should I say. So yeah. Just drop that in there. Oh, yeah, preferably don't drop it on the bench though, Carl. Yeah, don't be like Fester. A bit of pipage going on behind that one. So we can see roughly where that's going to go. Try and hold that in with the old thumb there. Give that a little dip. Have you a bit of that. Like that. And like that. Look at that. Yeah, I know. It's a pipe. But yeah, it's a little pipe. It's a pipey pipe. Right. Couple of bits of the old... I don't know what these things are called. The bits that stick up on the deck with like a funnel on the end. Don't know whether they're sirens or whether they're fire hydrants or what, but yeah. Those of you that are building the bigger Titanic will know what I mean. It looks like it's a, dare I say it, even though they're tiny, it looks like it's got fire hose on it. But I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. But, yeah. Or it could be, I suppose, a very primitive air conditioning system where there's a turbine in there that spins round and sucks air in through the funnel and, pardon me, down into the deck. So it could be a way of circulating air. Answers on a postcard. Yeah. I'll start grabbing the rest of those off, because they are scattered quite equally around the top decks, the middle decks, and all of that. So it does make me wonder whether that could be what they were. Have a dab of glue in there. These are the little bits I'm on about. Ted and Lewis will be frantically going through their Titanic instructions trying to guess what they are. But that's two things there. It's either fire related or air conditioning of some kind. Back in the Victorian era, it would have been probably an air recirculatory equipment device of some kind. Some long-winded description they would have gave it to make it look suave, windswept and interesting. So, yeah. So what we got next? Got a couple of more of those hydrant, the aircon things or whatever to go on this one. And that's the good thing about these instructions. They are sort of working their way from the bow to the stern quite happily. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just following the stages of the instructions, and I've got them just to me right on a clipboard that's on a boom arm. So I can just quickly look over at it and see what's next, you know. But I must admit, for a not a reasonably new Revell kit, should we say, it's not a bad little kit, to be honest. Well, it was until I got my hands on it, put it that way. But yeah, I've not had to get the saw out yet. I surprised myself there. Dave's probably just fell over now because I said I haven't got the saw out on the kit. Yeah. This one very nearly had the saw out though. Anyway, we've moved on a little bit from where we just were, and I've blacked out the inside of the hull and some of the decking area purely and simply because we got LEDs going in there. So I did that just at the end of the bit I shot there before I went to bed. So I think we'll put a bit of mast on today. But the reason for the blacking is I'm going to be putting the LEDs in. Now I'm not sure whether to foil line it as well with the deck or whether that will make the LEDs too bright. So I'll have a think about it. The masts go in, they can only go in one way, it's a square peg basically, and they do lean back at a slight angle as well, so don't beat yourself up if your masts are leaning, because they're supposed to. And then we've got a bit of ladderage that goes up the side of each one that kind of centralises them. And they go into little notches on the side of the hull. The side of the deck, like so. So you end up with your mast, and these are going to have easy line going up and across and down the front. So I'll probably film them at some point. I might just film the funnel ones. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, it's just going to be tying bits of easy line around the plastic. So. Just cut the other ladder off, like so. And that's the front mast there that's just come into shot. Just pop that in place. It just goes in that square area there, like that. Just like that. Try and get that to stay in place. I'll just put another droplet on there. Just get that to bite. A little wobbly, that one. And then we'll put the ladders on. Give that a bit of support is what that needs. And we're going to be sort of quite close to probably putting some paint on this puppy. So yeah, we'll have ourselves a bit of a paint fest coming up. I'll just grab the sanding stick and give that ladder a bit of a caress with the sanding stick there, because yeah, she's got a couple of pimples on her, and we can't have that, can we? I can't have a pimply ladder going on. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just grind them down a tad. Yeah. You know, and it'll be nice and smooth. It'll look lovely, and yeah, nothing worse than a pimply ladder, folks. So we're nearly there on that. So deft little bit of a sand on the corner there. Yeah, much better. I'm happy now. So I'll get the old extra fin on there. Ka-ching and ka-ching. Yeah, like that. Well, yeah, we might as well put a blob on that side and all. Why not, indeed? See whether we can get the ladders in place. Try not to drop it, Cole. Get the notch in first. Just try and rest that in place with the thumb. A bit fiddly, folks, purely and simply because I don't want to knock anything off the deck. And I also don't want to lean too much on the mast, because for some reason I'm just worried I might break them, because they are very thin. probably like a table leg on the big Titanics that the other lads are building, but on this one they're a bit flimsy. So we'll try and get that in place. And it's funny, I was sitting reading the instructions thinking, oh God, I've got all this easy line to do, and looked up and saw the black pearl ship sat up there in my stash, and it's like, yeah, you might not want to think that you've got too much on this one, Cole, because you've got that one to do yet. Yeah, I think we might have the swear box on the bench for the black pearl build, folks. Anyway, let's get this last ladder on now that that's dried a bit. And we can now have a bit more substantial support for this mast. Just come in there and grab that. Try not to tremble, and put the ladder in place. Just get it like so. Probably hold the bottom with my thumb, and then try and get that in that little tiny notch that's made on the front there. And yeah, just put a little tiny dab at the bottom there, and I think I might leave that, because if I fiddle with it, it'll fall off. Yeah. Don't want to be doing that, do I? No. See, so we got a bit of the deck done. So I'm chuffed with that, if I'm honest. So let's have a looky-loo in the old destructions and see what's left there. I've done that bit. So it's probably things like the ship's anchors. They're around somewhere. Probably right at the beginning. So I think we'll put them on. There's a couple of little tiny anchors each side of the bow, and one that sits on the deck as a spare. So I'll have a little shufty and see what we can find with them, but it then lets us start saying, well, yeah, the anchors are done, and then put the two on the hull there at the front, and then it's ready for paint, I reckon. And I'll probably, dare I say it, I might brush paint it. Shock horror, but yeah, because is an airbrush going to be too perfect a paint job on the Titanic? I don't know, I just want a bit of texture. So, oh, that's one propeller on anyway. Might as well put these on now, and then paint them over with the brass when we're done with the hull. So just do the other one, and then there's another one goes right in that little spot in the rudder there. Well, don't cut them all off the sprues at once, folks, on this, because the one that's on the rudder's a bit smaller, and if I remember rightly, I think these propellers are handed. I could be wrong, but yeah. So just hold that in place. There's a bit of proppage. Right then. Yeah, got the anchors to go in there where my right thumb is, so drop them in place, put a blob of extra fin in there, and they'll be on. So that will be the anchors. Happy days. Just drop that on there in its rightful place. I wouldn't have thought to fit in that, I must admit. Probably put 4 LEDs in there in various spots and go for warm LEDs, and possibly a couple in the deck. But I'll see how it looks with the deck on, and see how it lights up. I just want subtle lighting on it, really. So don't want to go too mad, don't want it too bright because we would have had that sort of bright light. So I think we're pretty much getting close to wrapping this episode up, if I'm honest, and we'll do the painting in part 3. So where we're at the moment, I think's probably a good place to pause because the lifeboats ain't going to go in yet, but I'll cut them off the sprues and paint them all. So in the meantime, thank you all for watching. Stay home, stay safe, and do whatever advice we're given at this current stage of the world being on fire. And I'll look forward to seeing you all in the next episode, folks. Bye bye for now. Take care.